Hi, hello, and namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Preeti Rao, and I am both a real estate and a mortgage broker for close to 20 years. Now, on April 28th, all eyes were on Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland as she was set to announce Canada's budget for 2023. While many were worried that any additional fiscal spending could add to the inflation fire that has kind of started to recede over the past few months, others were looking to see if the government was going to include any new protection for Canada's banks in the attempt to protect Canada from what is happening in the US right now. Now, as expected, the government did include some measures to help lower income Canadians cope with inflation, and also included some measures for housing. So what I want to do today is go over the 2003 budget, take a look at its plans and their potential impact on Canada's inflation rate. Take a look at some of the housing measures being offered by the government. But first, you know the drill. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, tap the bell icon. It gets me motivated to keep you up to date with everything real estate. So, under the budget, the government would be offering a grocery rebate for lower income Canadians. Under this system, couples with 2 children will receive a payment of $467. A senior will receive $225 and a single person will receive $234. The one-time rebate will cost $2.5 billion and is expected to help upwards of 11 million families. And while the measure is intended to help lower income households deal with inflation, increase in the government spending is almost by definition inflationary, unless it's accomplished by increase in supply. A point which was made by Bank of Canada's governor back in February. This is only to say that an increase in government spending without an increase in supply is indeed inflationary. This will put an upward pressure on Canada's inflation rate. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be an increase in spending. Indeed, there is. The government plans on spending an additional $43 billion over the next 6 years. We'll have a $40 billion deficit by 2024, which is much higher than expected. However, the grocery rebate is the only additional direct payment being made by the government to Canadians. The budget also contains some measure for housing, both for prospective and for current homeowners. The budget is set to deliver on the Liberals' much talked about first home savings account. Remember, I have done so many videos on this topic already. Under the program, Canadians under 40 can save up to $8,000 per year, up to a maximum of $40,000 tax-free, and use that money towards a down payment of their first home. I should note that although the government is delivering on the FHSA, the recent report showed that a large portion of the banks were not ready to implement this by April 1st, which was the deadline. And although the FHSA will help those looking to buy their first home, as the CBC pointed out, there was very little budget to kickstart housing construction. Canada imported nearly 1 million people last year and is set to continue heightening levels of immigration. It's surprising that the government isn't accelerating the construction of affordable housing. However, there were some quasi-measures contained in the budget for those who are already homeowners. The budget includes plans from the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada to publish a guideline to protect Canadians facing exceptional circumstances. The guidelines will attempt to ensure that federally regulated financial institutions, which are the banks, provide fair and equitable access to relief measures that include amortization increases, adjusting payment schedules, or authorizing lump sum payments. Now, the majority of the banks are already doing this, but it's unclear as of yet as to how this guideline will be implemented. The budget states that these measures shouldn't result in any unnecessary fees, interest charges, or penalties by the banks. And while it's also not clear whether or not this guideline will have the full force of the law, it's also a far cry from the guaranteed mortgage referrals that the Liberals had announced during the campaign when they were touting a planned home buyers' bill of rights. With that being said, I think the fact that these amortization increases were included in the budget, amortization increases which have largely helped out homeowners and also propped up house prices shows that these increases, which the banks have been using to help holders of variable rate mortgages make their payments, do in fact have the full backing of the federal government. So in summary, we do have a budget that is likely to contribute, though marginally, to Canada's inflation rate. But we don't see any massive brand new initiatives that are likely to cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Kevin Page, a former parliamentary budget officer, said that with this budget, you can't really make the case that the government has loosened the purse strings all that much. We are seeing relatively modest increases. We are still running a higher than anticipated deficit, and deficits in general contribute to inflation. With that being said, we don't have any massive new programs which are likely to send the inflation rate skyrocketing back upwards, which can be a good thing. So, if you have questions or would like clarifications, please do not hesitate to call me. If you still don't know who I am, go check my rating on Google and read my client reviews. Till then, take care. And if you found value or liked this video and would like to see more content, click on the boxes on the screen. Once again, my name is Preeti Rao. My contact information is in the description box below. Make sure to hit like, share, subscribe, and the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to call me because I hold the key that opens a door to your dream home.